All right, and we are finally freaking live. Are you kidding me? The technical difficulties that go on behind the scenes when we're creating a live stream. Holy smokes. You guys know what time it is. We're 8 minutes late, but this is BowtieUP. Come on in, sit your butt down, grab the popcorn and the drink, because for the next hour, we're going to be edutating your face off. And I think, speaking of faces, I think a lot of you are going to know the dashing face to my right here. Mr. Anthony English, would you please introduce yourself while our co-host Alex is busy sorting out a few tech problems? He will be on in a moment.
Well, here I am way down under. You would not believe it. These guys, you people, dear listeners, viewers, right?
Yes.
Woke me up at 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah, you agreed to it.
I agreed to it.
Yes.
And I'm delighted. But my face is going to crack if you make me laugh. So no jokes.
None.
No jokes for the whole time, okay?
Keep it on the level. No shenanigans. No
shenanigans.
No poppycock.
So I'm a husband, father of 7 children. And wow. I'm a business coach down here in Sydney, Australia.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to whatever's going to.
You're a rather specific type of coach too, or business coach.
I am a very actually. It's not
about that.
I'm a very specific kind of coach.
Okay.
I was going to say I coach women, but that's not true.
Okay.
It is true. It's not true enough.
Oh. Okay.
I coach Rachel's.
You coach Rachel's.
That's it.
Okay. Is a people named Rachel? Is a Rachel a mindset? Is Rachel an underwear brand? What is it?
It's probably what the marketers would call a psychographic. So it's
what the heck is that?
Yeah, I know. That's not how I found it. Look, here's what I noticed that as I was looking through the women I was working with, that I was talking to, that the name Rachel kept coming up.
Okay.
Wow, there's another Rachel. And all of them had a particular characteristic. Maybe not all of them, most of them, where they were really, really strong women. They were in the digital space. They were really good at what they did. You know, they might have been bookkeepers or copywriters or PR consultants but basically working at home online. This is before COVID and even before COVID.
Okay.
But they also had this very strong drive, great ability, but they also had a certain, I don't know whether I'd call it vulnerability, gentleness. I'm not quite sure what the word is, but they were a little bit, how much do I charge? How do I price myself? I hate selling and that sort of thing. And I said, well, I can help you with this. Yeah, I can help you with this. And so Rachel's.
Okay, so these people have a very Rachel quality.
They have a Rachel quality.
Okay. Yeah. So what if they have a Rachel quality, but they happen to be a Tina or a Carla or
Do you know what? I do turn a blind eye to their name. I do call them. And if they contact me on LinkedIn and they say, Anthony, I'm a Rachel, or I love the Rachel thing, that's good enough for me.
Okay. So what about Lee? What happens if Lee says, "Look, I think I'm a Rachel"?
What? I'm going to let you in on a secret here.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just cut the broadcast at the moment because I'm going to tell the secret?
Oh no, we can't do that.
Okay.
Just tell it anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to tell it anyway.
Okay.
Do you know what? There are some men
really
who contact me and they say, if I change my name to Rachel, or they even say, I am Rachel. My name's really Rachel, and I say, I don't get enough. They're not going to get past me. I'm pretty sharp. They're not going to get past that one. No way.
Even at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a no-go. So I'm forever barred from being a Rachel, but Carla could be a Rachel. Chris could be a Rachel. And speaking of that, let's stop the show and say hello here real quickly. I'm doing double duty here. Alex is running his technical difficulties that I don't understand. So I just went, okay, I can come in here and clown around and act a fool for a little bit, and we can pretend to know what's going on until he shows up. So, Carla, you're wonderful as always, and thank you so much for hanging out with us on BowtieUP Live and just in life in general. You are amazing. I love you, woman. Nishant, dude. Hey, what's up? It's good to see you again. And I know it's like 2:30 in the morning for you, so what the hell? I'm really glad that you're hanging out with us. Chris, it's great to see you. Hannah, what's going on? Hannah Catus is in the house, and we are fantabulously happy to see you today. Let's get back to Anthony and his Rachel.
Well, yeah, it's an amazing niche, right? Or niche. You say niche or niche?
It's potato, Demi Lovato.
Banana.
It's all stuff. So, it's all spuds to me. Yeah.
It's all spuds. So, yeah, it's an amazing niche because people, the great thing is that everybody, when I say, look, I coach Rachel's, it usually triggers in somebody, wow, I know somebody like that. I don't have to describe very much. And they say, funny that you should mention that, or else they'll say, my sister's Rachel, or my grandmother was a Rachel, or I love the name Rachel, or I've got a daughter called Rachel, it's not really about the name, but it's, and I don't think anyone's really going to steal it. I don't think we're going to wake up tomorrow on LinkedIn and find that someone else is, well, I coach Roberts, or I help Michelle's. No.
Well, you know what? What's really going to be a problem is when somebody horns in on your Rachel territory. I mean, then it's like, the gloves.
I'm ready for it.
Let's go. Fight. You're going to come horns in on my Rachel's. Anthony English would knock you down. He will.
No, I wouldn't.
Anybody who has raised 7 children, I'm like, they will just smack you senseless.
The Rachels will do the work.
Well, very good. All right. So we got that covered. What else have you got going on? Obviously, you, like everybody else, you were sharing some really interesting numbers of what's going on down there in terms of the coronavirus and how Australia is handling that. Do you care to share just a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So basically, of course, Australia is an island, and our coronavirus statistics, I think our population is about 27 million. And from last check, we've had about 6,000 cases Australia-wide, with and 6,700 and 5,700 of them have recovered. And we've had about 80 deaths, and most of those have been in, elderly people in particular nursing homes. And we also had some cruise ships come in right in the midst of all of this that docked. Yeah, so we've pretty much got it under control. Some states are now opening up again. One of the states, South Australia, has gone 8 days without a new case.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, so we're all learning how to drive again and how to.
I understand. It's odd. It's still odd seeing the freeways around here being almost empty at 5 o'clock. And I found that there's a certain place that I'd like to go after work. It used to be impossible to get to before it closed after the show, and now it's just it's there and back. The time that it would have taken me. So it's eventually it's going to be chaos. I don't want to be out there when everybody starts figuring out how to drive again. But it's good to see that that there are things that are looking positive, at least on your side of the world. What do you attribute that to? I mean, you said you started out with like, "Hey, we're an island," so. What do you attribute the?
Yeah, that's certainly a help. I actually think that it's because Australians are quite good at panicking.
Okay.
And we see a little bit of news. The world economy, it looks like there's going to be a downturn. I don't know about you, Lee, but do you ever remember a single moment in your life when the world economy or the American economy was not, like that's always been the news. There's going to be a downturn. Well,
Right.
Australia's doing okay, but worldwide we're not. Things are not looking good. I mean, you're not going to sell newspapers saying, "Hey, our country is looking good," and the world.
Yeah. Well, you're always either in it, getting over it, or fearing it.
Exactly.
And those are the three phases of a bear market.
It's been amazing seeing how people have coped. I mean, the homeschooling one is a perfect example. We've been homeschooling our children for years. We've got 7 children, and we've homeschooled them all. We've now got one at school.
Okay.
So it wasn't such a big change for us, but we've had so many friends and who have said, "Look, I would never homeschool," and now they're doing it. Admittedly, it's a bit of a different version because they actually do have the children in classes, with a school teacher and so on. So it's not exactly homeschooling, or it's a variation of it, but it's worked for many of them. And so there were so many times, so many things that we thought we could never do. Similar example, Lee, is when people go on video. Okay, a number of people who tell me I could never do video. And I'd say, wait a minute, just stop right there. You realize that you just told me that over Zoom? You realize you're on video? Oh, yeah, but that's different. You're not recording. Just wait a minute. I'm just going to hit that record button. Can you just say that again, please?
Right. That's hilarious. As we've discussed before, that was me like 2 years ago. People watching this probably wouldn't believe it, but it really was 2 years ago. I would not get in front of a camera. It's just not happening. Right. No way. Terry, but I hate how I look. I hate how my voice sounds, blah, 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 the usual stuff.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't happen. But it is possible, obviously, once you crack that open.
I was exactly the same. And the switch for me, well, I wasn't afraid of getting in front of the camera, but when I looked back afterwards and I looked at myself and I said, "Oh, look, I scratched my face there," or the children came in, or that story didn't really flow very well, I got to record it again. I was putting myself under such pressure, and I especially hated the sound of my voice afterwards. My voice sounds so funny. And then I said to myself, Anthony, because that's my name. I said, Anthony,
fair enough.
Yeah. I said, Anthony, you are not going to win an Oscar. So get over it. And you know what? It's true. I know it's because the borders are closed and everything. The Oscar has not arrived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just said, well, I realized that I had my expectations was I had to be like TV ad standard in my mind.
Yeah.
And I realized that I didn't need to do that. Just look, if you can't swim and I know how to dog paddle, then to me, to you, I'm Michael Phelps.
There you go. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Actually, we're having the same problem with me being on the cover of GQ. So it's purely a logistics issue. So we're in the same boat there. Well, you'll have your Oscar. I'll have my cover on GQ eventually, and all will be right with the world.
So that was the thing that really helped me, and I use this in business coaching all the time. Is my idea of inflatable goalposts. Inflatable goalposts.
All right, tell me about this.
So wherever the ball lands, you've kicked the ball and it went totally the wrong place. Okay. Life has just turned bad. You've made a mess of it. Then what you do is you pull out these goalposts, which they're not real goalposts. Okay. They're just imaginary ones. Okay. Virtual goalposts. And you blow them up and you put them down and you just say, guess what? I just scored a goal. I just scored a goal.
Nice.
Inflatable goalposts.
I like it. Inflatable goalposts. You heard it here first.
You heard it here. Well, they probably didn't. But
no, well, I'm going to say most of the people who just heard that heard it here first.
Okay.
I dare anybody to oppose me on that. That's what I found out about this place is you can just do that, and people are like, okay,
Yeah, that's right. Well, absolutely. You control the buttons, don't you?
That's absolutely right, and it's a fun thing to do too. It really is. It's absolutely amazing. I got to tell you that you were talking about the making mistakes and going backs, and I scratched my nose here and so forth.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what I dig about live streaming. That's why I was terrified about it before, and that's why I totally dig it now. Because I don't have to worry about that. I can't go back and change it. It's already out there. People are already seeing it. If I scratch my butt, I scratch my butt. It just
it's like rain. Once the raindrop has fallen, it's like a bullet. It's like lead. Like you can't go back and say, oh well, let's unrain that. Okay, let's make that rain go back up again.
Speaking of rain going back up again,
look at there.
We're not named Rachel. I am here present and accounted for. Ran into some technical issues known as Hurricane Mango, which is generally more logistic. Right. But I'm here, Anthony. So wonderful to have you here, man. Just thought I would throw that on there. So anybody who is not named Rachel knows that you've got another place to go.
Yeah.
Although personally, I think I'm a Rachel. So
you think you're a Rachel? I can't be a Rachel, but you're a Rachel.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing.
Is it a facial hair thing? Is it? Where is the dividing line?
Specifically just only people who can't grow facial hair? Because that would make me a Rachel.
Well, this is all I've got, so I guess I'm a half Rachel. I don't know.
That's the only thing I can't grow, so that means I'm your other half of the Rachel.
You're only a quarter of Rachel. You're not good enough. You're not Rachel enough.
And what's up, comments? Just going to stop the show, say hello, rapid fire round to Carla, Nishant, Chris, Hannah, Samantha, Matthew. How's it going, guys? Y'all are incredible. Thank you for joining us and also shooting over to Facebook here. Hello, Jim and Judy. Both of you guys jumping in. That's all, however many of you. Awesome. You're great. You are tremendous. Wonderful to see you here. Make sure to tell me what you think I was doing with Mango and why he took me so long to get through.
Yes,
drop a comment over here. Drop a comment over here so that we know about Mango. And be sure to say hi in the comments over there if you haven't already for us to stop the show and say hello to you.
Yeah.
Now back to your regularly scheduled interruption, I believe. I actually have no idea what we were talking about.
Well, okay. Well, first of all,
I'm really excited to join you guys.
Yeah. Alex, Anthony, Alex. Merry meet from opposite sides of the planet, and we're talking about Rachel's, or we were.
Rachel's. I got onto the Rachel bit a little bit. So we're talking about Rachel's. What do you do for Rachel's? How can you help half of my Rachel?
Yeah, so helping out. Well, yeah. So we were talking about also the inflatable goalposts, and
yes,
that whole idea.
Goalposts. Okay. So
that whole idea.
Run it through with me again.
Yeah. Okay. So very simple. So let's. Alex, can you cook?
Can I what?
Can you cook?
Oh, absolutely not. That's a really bad idea to let me near an oven.
Okay. So what I do is I'm going to switch your mindset and say, listen, can you cook toast?
I can toast. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. Okay. So yes. So what we're doing is instead of saying I can't cook, you say I can cook. I can cook toast. I'm not a master chef. Okay. I'm never going to run a restaurant, but I can cook. It's a mental switch.
Okay. All right. So mindset. It's like mind over matter, right? I can accomplish this if I change my outlook on cooking.
It's really recognizing that you've actually had wins in areas that you think are losses. Because I'm thinking, well, I've recorded a video, I've put it on YouTube. I expect it to have lots of likes and new subscribers, plenty of comments. I've got to put in captions and all of those fancy things that those titles and overlays and background music and so on. No, my goal is I'm going to record one video and then I'm going to take it down again. But at least I will have done it. At least I've gone through the mechanics of it. Hey, I've recorded a video and I've posted it for somebody to see. So you're simply just moving the goalposts, right? And then you just do things step by step. That's how it works in life. There's nothing nothing that you have ever done that you were born doing. You say, look, I've never done it before. I've never done sales before. I've never sold anything before. I'm not a salesman. I'm not a cook. I'm not good at marketing. Well, you're not good at walking.
Not yet.
Well, that's right. Exactly. It's a yet. It's that I'm not done. I haven't done it yet, but you hadn't walked yet. Now you can walk, and I believe you do it quite well. You weren't able to talk when you were a baby, and then you started, and now.
So in essence, guiding these Rachels along that discovery journey and that mindset, that awareness, so that they can reach their goals. So you're that path, right?
It's interesting, even around the whole goals thing. I just say, listen, we're going to. It literally is moving the goalposts, and I'm saying, forget about the goals. I mean, some people, the Rachels, the ladies I work with, they're so good at setting their own goals. I say, you do not need an accountability coach. That's not my job. All right, you need somebody. You need to take ownership of why you actually even want to do this thing that you said that you want to do. Because usually, if they lose energy, I mean, obviously there can be physiological reasons why they're losing energy, but usually it's because they're not really clear. It's usually they've lost clarity. They're not clear about why, if I do this thing, if I write this blog post, if I record this video, what connection does that actually make with who I am and what it is I'm supposed to be doing?
So
once you get back to that, they're good.
Right back to that point, because I think that's really important on that losing clarity and finding that clarity and how you even keep that up in business. But I do want to take a second to shout out some of the awesome audience members we've got going on here. Just throwing up my cool favorite banner that I haven't got to use yet. And by the way, guys, guessing what I was doing with mango, none of you are far off, except for Nishant, because you just had a mango shake. I have to say, Nishant, after having a son named Mango, I get mango everything now. So I'm all for it. Let me know how that shake is, brother. And also, I will get back to your message. I promise you I'm not ignoring you. Just been a little bit busy. Thanks for missing me, Matthew. I miss you too, man. Always nice to see you here in chat. We've got some exciting things coming up from Matthew and the Infinity Streamers gang here soon. Hannah says you were trying to get Mango to sleep and you took so long because Sam isn't there. A little bit of both. Mango was crying and stomping his feet because Sam went out to get the things from the car, because I just go get PC parts because I'm building a computer because I need to do more stuff for you guys on the stream. But besides the point, Mango was upset, so he became my buddy in setting up the stream and getting in here. And then, of course, he had to eat. Who needs to do that? Well, apparently Nishant with his mango shake. He was teaching Mango how to do the banners from Matthew. Pretty much. Actually, the other day, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Mango, I held up the mouse for him, and he ended the broadcast. That was kind of cool. Proud dad. Yeah. But yeah, just fun things with Mango. Pretty much just he was sitting there being a nuisance, like always. But that smile, just what are you gonna do with that? All right. So back to your regularly scheduled interruption, and thanks, guys. Much love to all of you. Let's talk clarity a little bit, and I want to hear some audience feedback on this as well. So, have you guys lost clarity because of COVID? Do you feel like you have lost touch with the why of your business or the reasoning that you're doing any of this because of what's going on right now? Sound off. I know we've got like 45 seconds before we're going to hear anything back, so we'll filibuster until that. But tell us what's going on right now and what kind of the impact has been, and if you've been affected in your business and if you've lost that clarity. Because what we've got here with Anthony is the opportunity to talk about how to regain that clarity. We're going to pretend like all you guys are Rachels out there. So welcome and being blessed and anointed as at least part Rachel for the next 28 minutes while we have you guys. Now back to your regularly scheduled interruption while we wait for the incredible folks out there to tell us if they're losing clarity. And you don't have to have, by the way. Y'all can be like just steamrolling through it, and that's great too.
Well, what's your answer, Alex? While we're waiting on the audience, about clarity, whether you found clarity through the COVID era.
I think that's a really good question. Honestly, I hate asking good questions and then being asked to answer them immediately. I'm like,
I know, and that's why I do it.
But I think I have ended up finding a lot more clarity because of this. I think I lost it in the beginning, not like losing track of my mission, but getting lost in the objectives of the mission. And kind of when COVID hit and the world got really busy and really into technology, almost as much as I was, like it was kind of one of those things where you're just like, oh crap, well now everybody needs something. And so kind of sorting through that. But now I've been able to really work through the things that are important to, you know, to my business and to the growth of the organization and to our long-term success, instead of just focusing on the day-to-day slugfest. And I think that it's kind of one of those times that you're either going to burn up or you're not going to.
For sure.
And it's your choice.
Yeah.
So I think that I've got some clarity out of it, but it's definitely not been something that's been easy or that I would have got without it, for sure.
Okay. Well, you know, let's check in with Anthony. Is it ever easy to get that clarity?
You know, one of the great things when you're, it's like Dr. Johnson said, the prospect of hanging concentrates the mind wonderfully. Well, the prospect of starvation, kind of like everything's falling apart, the whole world is falling apart. Once again, that really helps you to focus on the essentials, and the things that you thought were essential, you actually can look back and say, actually, they were distractions. And so in that sense, it can give you a sense of clarity and appreciation. On the other sense, on the other hand, it's almost like this quiet time is almost like a weapon. It's something very powerful. It's almost like fire or a knife. It's something very, very sharp, and it can do a lot of damage as well, or it can also give you can be a great powerful way of saying, this is where I am, this is who I am, this is what I'm all about.
And I think that you bring up a good point too, with how it can be both ways. It can be a very bad.
Yeah.
And I think one specific example that I've seen with one of my clients is, and I don't normally work there, I always say there's only a couple types of businesses I don't work with: MLMs and then anybody who's just annoying. But the MLM side of the house, I have just a few clients that are in that space. And one of them, she had noticed that after COVID, people just weren't buying from her Facebook watch parties. Mm-hmm. And she was so confused, like, okay, well, why aren't people buying now? Like, all of a sudden I went from being able to sell like $600 a week on autopilot. Keep in mind that you're taking home like $30 after that, but whatever, we're not going to talk about it. But now consumers aren't buying because they've got that clarity in, oh wait, this offer, this thing that I was spending my money on is actually not that valuable to me. So maybe I don't need it when we're all in quarantine and things matter a little bit more in the decisions that you make. And so I think that not only entrepreneurs are getting clarity on what their business is, what they're really offering, who they can really benefit, if it truly does benefit them, and if it benefits them and not spend money on it in the event of a pandemic. If you're more busy right now, you are very valuable. It is a gold rush to the gold, and we're all checking to see if we're wearing nickel. And if you are nickel and you have a crappy service, you should realize by now you're finger green.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of points there. In times of uncertainty, we naturally want to go safe. Okay, we're looking for safety. And so in that sense, relationships that you already had, whether they were past clients or prospects or people that you just kept in touch with, all of a sudden those relationships become much more important both for you and for them. It's that I was amazed at the number of clients or prospects or people who had avoided talking to me, and I knew that they were, who reached out, not for work, but to ask how I'm doing. Like they really, really cared, or the other way around. And so I think that there's a couple of things happening here. Is that we want to feel safe in times of uncertainty. And we also want to mitigate our risk. So that means going back to the people who we already knew. We're going to be looking back now to this time and saying, and we'll be telling our children and grandchildren, they'll be, well, so what did you do at that time? Well, I binge watched CNN. Oh, okay.
Right.
No. I did something really, really valuable. I went on to BowtieUP live every day.
Exactly.
There you go. No
exactly.
Because we will have almost anyone as a guest, because I'll debate with literally anyone.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So
you got the man down under.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, I love people in Australia. I have a client out in Australia, and she's one of my favorites. But that's besides the point. I can go into detail if you guys want.
Exactly. Hey, Alex, we got a bunch of comments over on Facebook.
On Facebook?
So I want to just address that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So Judy Pearson Rowley, that's Mom. Hi, Mom. I'm glad you're watching. Jim Williams. Hey, I appreciate you're here. He says, what did I see how this works if I show it? Lee, why are we here? This is a show that we do every day to provide value for our viewers, to help them navigate businesses in the COVID era. And people have a choice whether to watch it or not watch it. If it's not something that you want to watch, that's cool.
Punish from India too.
Yeah. So that's cool. And hey, we appreciate your recommendations on production and everything, but we're 3 people running through StreamYard. So, I mean, if not keeping an even volume is, big enough problem for you to stick around, then just, chill out. We're doing some good here. Okay.
Sorry.
That kind of stuff just pisses me off.
And lowering it at the same time.
Yeah. So, okay.
Like what?
All right. So back to the, okay. So we got several people watching here. We got some good comments into feeling safe is not as important as feeling confident enough to at least start out. I definitely agree with that. And we've got Panesh from India here watching on Facebook, says hello. So quite an audience here across the channel. Thank you so much for watching.
Must be early morning in India. I mean, it's sunrise here.
It's like 2:30 there.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to take
too many people.
All right.
Okay, you're on mute. So Nishant, that's who I was talking about. My dude Nishant always jumping in here telling us how it's 2:30 a.m. That's how we know it, Anthony. Like it is. They are just chilling over there, man. Hope you guys are all staying safe and healthy. By the way, just take a moment, a little mental health break at the top of the hour. Take a second and just reflect on your week so far. Welcome to Friday. And we will give you some nice, soothing journey by train through Mongolia.
Oh, very cool. That's better.
I'm soothed already.
We're all much better. And it's greetings once again. For those of you just joining, we have Anthony English from the future. So far in the future, it's tomorrow morning.
It is actually tomorrow, and the future is looking bright. As just demonstrated.
Good. Okay, so I think we're going to see a little of this future here. So I'm really excited about that. So we talked about Rachel's inflatable goalpost. We talked about clarity. What else have you got to share with us today, Anthony?
I'm going to talk to you about money.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Ooh. No, not much.
Right.
But a little bit.
Okay.
Actually, it's around money and around time, and what it is this: is that if you are looking in the past, you're an accountant. Okay. Like, no offense. No. Do we have accountants watching? If you're looking in the past,
maybe.
If instead, both with money and your time, if you say, look, what we end up tending to do is we end up saying, well, whatever's left, that's what I've got to spend on. Like I've just got all these bills coming in, I've got all these interruptions coming in, so it's very similar, time and money. I've got all these interruptions coming into my day.
Okay.
And whatever's left is kind of my me time or time for and it's a very difficult way to live because you feel like you're always chasing your tail. But but if on the other hand, both with money and with time, I'm not saying for you to schedule your day to map out your day. I actually don't work like that. Yeah, I don't work like that at all. And some people do. And they absolutely love and worship their calendars and they really, really respect them. But if I make an appointment with somebody else, I'm going to show up. If I make an appointment with myself on my calendar, it doesn't work. But what I can do is I can say, listen. So I'll focus probably more on the time than the money, because people are feeling like a lot of stress at the moment. They're feeling like, well, maybe they've had the children home from school. It's like 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. What did we actually even get done today? I feel like I've wasted the whole day. I feel like I've achieved nothing. I'm not productive. My whole day has been a series of interruptions. Now, if you can change that, once again, the whole inflatable goalposts, change that, and you set yourself some milestones of different kinds, minor things, then, and you say, well, ahead of time here, this is something that I'm going to get done today. I don't really care if it happens. I'm going to broadly aim to get this done in the morning, or to set aside some time to do this in the afternoon. But one thing that I've found really very much at the moment is this whole idea of building habits. And one of the habits that I do is I just have a checklist, and one thing that I do every day, tiny thing, is I weigh myself. Big deal. How long does that take? But it's another thing that I've just got on my checklist every single day. Not on my calendar. The really simple mental shift, if you like, is like, this is what I want to set out to do ahead of time, rather than looking back and saying, I wasted my time. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Nice. So valuable. And especially like just when you're thinking about your time in general, and you think about how money is completely made up and really doesn't matter. Your time does. It's the only thing that you can only give and not give back. And you can't give it twice. I can't give the same block of time twice. Like, it was like, what was it? Something about like somebody who gives you money is one thing, but somebody who gives you time is like really where it's at. Something to the effect, I was trying to remember the cool quote because sometimes I do, but this is not one of those times. No. So what I'm saying is that was an awesome time pun at the end, and that your time's real valuable, guys. So don't go around wasting it.
That's right.
Who knows what it can be worth? Only you know.
Matthew.
I'm just gonna. You go ahead, Lee.
I was saying Matthew pointed out that accountants are always watching. It's what they do. So we were worried about that. So now we've confirmed they are watching.
That's that's such a good point.
Yeah, they're not really paying attention. They just want to know if something goes wrong, and it's not curious. I get wrist slaps, so I can attest. I am not an accountant's or whatever you call it. I think actually I'm the type of guy that accountants call patients, not clients.
What else is happening in the chat with the audience here?
Well, it's a good thing. So Jim
was having a rant about something COVID related and quarantine related, which when is it not? LinkedIn chat is talking about accountants watching, and Matthew said hello to your mother, Lee. So hello, Mrs. Rowley from Matthew.
Yeah, so Jim wanted to know where you are. Alex is in the States with me in Ohio.
I am nowhere. Is otherwise known.
I like that. I wish LinkedIn would do that.
What's that?
He says hello from the home of the blues. Where's that, brother?
Okay, that's good.
No, see, now we can do it, but we can't do that on LinkedIn.
Yeah, that's because the comments don't come over from LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, that's
LinkedIn, and something I've learned a lot of the stream projects I'm working on, LinkedIn does not want you to do anything with their stream. What they call a beta, I call they haven't figured it out yet. And I hope you're listening because y'all haven't figured it out. But yeah, LinkedIn does not like to make this easy. Happy to go to tech talk about it.
Oh, how did BowtieUP Live end? Well, we lost our LinkedIn Live. We challenged the powers.
Just go live everywhere else. Literally, no problem, guys.
Yeah, we have people who can ignore us a million other places.
Yeah, like no, LinkedIn, don't make me work around you. Like it's not nice. Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, hold on.
Oh, okay, for sure. Okay.
Check this out. Home of the Blues.
Yeah, right on.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Where else? Okay, I should have known. Okay, well, we're glad you're here.
Crossed my mind, bro.
Yeah, you said earlier that trucking isn't slowing down at all.
Trucking can't slow down right
No,
now.
it can't.
Slow down logistics.
Well, but the thing is if you've got less manufacturing, then theoretically you would have, less demand for trucking. I don't know. I'm making stuff up.
If you
ask Jim, he would know.
Still need to move things over more.
Okay.
I like literally got one of my guys that works with me. He is in logistics, and he's just been super, super busy because of all the medical offices and places submitting specimens.
Well, I have a client who basically he's a manager for a trucking company, and some aspects of the trucking company of the truck industry have done extremely well, especially when Australians we tend to be, I think, better at panicking than you guys. Yeah.
Everything can kill you. I would be in a state of constant panic.
Yes.
One of my clients sent me a picture of a snake on her driveway. She's in Australia.
Right.
And number one, danger noodle. Number two, absolutely the hell not. And number three, if I woke up in the morning and saw that, I'd be on the first plane out of there. And if I couldn't find a plane, I'd be on a boat. And there wasn't one of those, I'd be swimming.
Have you ever seen the movie Snakes on Planes?
No, that does not sound like a movie that would be good for my psyche to watch. I'm inspecting, while I'm trying to get copywriting gigs, I'm inspecting businesses for insurance companies. Inspecting businesses like for P&C or H&L and insurance. Are you doing what is it, like commercial insurance inspections where you go out and make sure that the risk is still there? I'm a former P&C insurance agent, by the way, so I can talk insurance.
Oh, cool.
The best of them, unfortunately.
It's been amazing seeing how people have adapted in different ways in a lot of different industries. In Sydney, we have a company that makes stages for big events. Okay, if you have an event and you need a temporary stage, that's what they make. Well, guess what? There's not a whole lot of big events being scheduled over the next few months, so they have switched. They've pivoted, and they now make standing desks because people want to know that they want to be comfortable working from home.
I do not think standing desks are very comfortable, but you will be maybe more healthy.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, people are working on their home environment. The home renovation industry has exploded, and bread making.
You mean like baking bread?
Bread making, yeah. I'm going to do some baking from home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get this bread, as they say. Except now we mean it literally. Whole new meaning in 2020.
There's a company in Tokyo that makes French toast. That is their niche. French toast. And they now home deliver French toast. That's it.
Yeah.
So anyone afraid of niching down, you can do it.
Matthew says logistics is booming now. And here's a question. The question was, what are we in for? So what's coming up? Yeah, looking to the future. I dig that.
I know.
Well, the future, speaking from the future, we don't have anyone from New Zealand on the call, do we? Because they're actually more future than me because they're 2 hours ahead of me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, I think we're good. We're safe.
Yeah, good.
Right.
Okay. So speaking from the future, what does the future hold? Well, see, even the future at the moment, I mean, we really have to think long term, and long term at the moment means like beyond the next 48 hours.
Right.
But when you are thinking about the future, I think that brings up a really valuable topic to talk about because we have a lot of these immediate relief thoughts. Oh, okay, well, quarantine's going to end soon. And we'll be out of our homes, or the next step is I'll go back to my office. And we have a lot of next steps, but not a whole lot of what does 4 or 5 steps down the road look like? What does my business look like in 6 months? What am I going to do if we don't actually reopen the economy? What am I going to do if we do reopen the economy?
Yeah.
So like how do you see that playing out?
Yeah, so it's what I always like to do. What you said about you can't get your time back. I would sort of disagree with that. What I would say is you can leverage your time. Simple example, right now we are recording, but in the future somebody else is going to be watching the replay, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's us buying time, where we're kind of stealing from the future by recording and sharing it. And so that's leverage. And that's something that I'm really encouraging everybody to be working on right now, is to be creating content, not necessarily for now, but to be setting up, templates or to develop certain skills, certain abilities that make you say, well, if and when things do open up, I'm going to be more ready for it. Okay, I'm going to be able to hit the ground running. But to try to make it where it's something that is valuable immediately and is long term. So it's got the 5 inches and the 5 miles. Simple example. I created some videos. I'm a technical guy, and I created some videos on how to jump on Zoom. And the most popular video is how to turn off your camera. I don't want anybody to see me. And so that has had 70,000 views, that video on YouTube. Now, I've never had any more than sort of 2,000 views ever. And so this one is completely blown up. But that has said, well, that's just a very short-term thing, because people are going to get used to logging on to Zoom, and then they won't be looking at my video. But long-term, I've said, well, now what can I do to create some new videos that are, much more within my target market? And what skills can I learn right now that I can implement straight away on today's YouTube channel for today, but I can also have those skills will still be valuable in 6 months' time.
And speaking of, I think the skill-based approach is one of the most common that we hear. Yeah. It's kind of where everyone's mind is right now. Sure. I'm going to learn a new skill so that I can come out of this quarantine, with something new in my skill set. I think that's a great approach. And I think that one other way to approach it that really I just kind of was thinking about was the approach of just improving what you already have. Optimize what you've got.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm going to touch on some awesome audience comments. I see you smiling and laughing, Liam. I'm assuming it's about the same thing. Anyways, so improve your organization, your operations. I just went through literally in the last week and created an accounting sheet with SKUs for all of my services and all of my softwares and all of my everything. I've got purchase orders that can actually be made now, like receipt templates. You need service templates, service level agreements, your NDAs, your contractor agreements, everything. Like, get the back end of your organization set up so that when you're ready to, you can get back to doing what you do well with your service. And use this as an opportunity to study what your competition's doing, because when you see them go off and run in another direction, that's great, because they're turning their back on everything. You're pivoting, you go 90 degrees, that gives me another 90 degrees to eat up your market share. And if you are not hungry for that right now, you're doing it wrong.
This is so good, because it's, once again, it's the, if you like, the goalpost thing again, is saying you're already doing stuff. You don't have to go and change and pivot completely. You can tweak what you are already doing and improve it based on what you have already done, because people have not realized just how powerful they are. Like someone commented to me yesterday. She said, look, now that the children are home from school, she said, even when the schools open up, I might continue homeschooling. Great. Now others are going to say, no, absolutely. I haven't killed my children yet. And so that's an achievement. I didn't kill any of my children today, It's like, but that ability to say, actually, things that I thought I could never do, I've actually done. How can I improve that now? But how is it valuable now, and how can that potentially be valuable in 6 months' time as well?
Right.
Absolutely. And that's it. You heard it probably like 8 here first, but do what you're doing better and learn a new skill. You can do both at the same time, guys. And the best way to do it is with a ducket bucket.
It's a ducket bucket.
What?
Sean and Matthew. So the ducket bucket.
We have the ducket bucket.
We have this cool tradition of ducks being thrown in a ducket bucket. By tradition, I mean we've done it twice, and we really like our ducks. So when we were talking about time the other day, we were putting it into like 24-hour format. So you've got 24 ducks to throw in the ducket bucket every day. And you chose what you throw your ducks into. Like if you have $24, 24 duck bucks, you choose what to spend your duck bucks on. And you only have so many during the day. So if you're giving your duck bucks to something, choose what you give the duck about.
Right.
Our audience wants a ducket bucket. They need their bow tie up ducks with a ducket bucket and ducket currency.
You know what I really love this?
$1. Yeah. It's not really. We're kidding. But,
This is amazing. Can I just point out for the just for the home viewers and for the accountants, these are not real ducks that you're throwing in the bucket.
No.
Could I just point it out?
Oh no, that would be so
This is a unicorn duck.
Yeah.
This is a bear duck.
A bear duck.
If it was a real bear duck, though, we'd be onto something.
This is a soccer duck. We have a black-lipped panda duck. And sometimes you give a duck, and sometimes you don't.
Sometimes they make it into the ducket bucket. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
that's okay.
You know what's so powerful about that? Look, I read a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Yeah,
and he uses the example of somebody who had to make some phone calls for an insurance company, I think. And while all of the others, or for an investor company, and all of the others are looking at the markets and so on, this person just had paper clips, which are far less interesting than ducks. But he had a paper clip. The same principle. Every time he made a call or sent that email or whatever, he put a paper clip in from this one to that one. Oh. But the ducket bucket, I love this.
It's like.
Can I just ask, what is that? What is it?
A winky face duck?
It's a winky face duck. Yeah.
Do you have a duck?
Just a plain old boring ass duck? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they should design a duck as a duck.
I bet Mango has one in his shower toys.
Yeah, actually, well.
Just hold on. I'll look. While everybody's gone away, I'll just keep things entertained. Would you like me to play Men at Work? We're gonna play Men at Work.
We're gonna do that. We had that queued up. We can do that. We could do the bucket. And here is the ducket bucket with no markings from the local home improvement store at all. Jim, no, brother. We do this Monday through Friday. Same time, 4:20 p.m. Eastern. We actually take in weekends off because otherwise our wives would kill us.
Unless
unless
you're Australian, in which case this is the weekend.
Oh, that's right. We got you up Saturday morning. Okay. So this is the ducket bucket that's clearly not from a home improvement store. And these are many of the ducks. And yeah, we have them just a plain old ready for the beach duck. That's about as plain as it gets in this duck pack.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have a duck too. You have a yellow duck. Oh, you've got a lime duck.
Dude, this is not a duck. This is a turtle duck. Thank you.
That's a turtle duck.
Status. Yeah, look at him.
Actually, it's so turtley, that duck. It doesn't even look like a duck.
It's only like a quarter duck. Kind of like your Rachel's. Oh, which means Nishant wants to know what happens if a girl comes up who is nowhere close to who you'd call Rachel, but her name ends up being Rachel. So I'm assuming that's a non-Rachel Rachel.
Don't call her Rachel.
Yeah. We're gonna let her in. She's just got past the bouncer.
Yeah, you're going to obey the letter of the law and not the spirit. Then is what you're telling me.
Yeah, correct.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
We'll allow it. Well, now you know.
Look, if you can have ducks that are shaped like panda bears or colored like pandas, if you can do that, I can make Rachel not happen to have the name Rachel.
Okay, that'll work.
Wow, Rachels who are named Rachel not happen to be Rachels.
I also have that. I also have Rachels who occasionally contact me and they say my name is Rachel, but I'm not actually a good client for you.
Okay, Hannah brings up a great point. She said, Anthony said he has a client, and he said he has a trucking company. Proof from Anthony himself that he works with atypical Rachels. And I did not realize what you were saying before, Hannah, but that is a great point.
Yes.
Anthony, you are, in fact, working with a trucking company. Interesting, Rachel.
Do you know? You know, if you had, what do they call it? Titles? Is that what they call it across the bottom of the screen?
Oh, banners, sliders.
Yeah. And well, yeah, I think hypocrite might be the word. No, I do make some exceptions. I do make some exceptions. This guy was a friend, and I knew him from the church. Yeah, no. Cut me some slack here, Hannah.
Oh, hilarious.
Our audience is pretty sharp, man. You can't get much by them. They're too busy
and we can't edit it out, right? We can't edit that out. When I say he, I meant she.
Excuse me, Anthony. Let me see if I can get it in my official Australian translation. But what does "cats are at the door" mean?
Cats are at the door?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cats are at the door listening to this.
Hold on, guys. Let me show you.
I don't know, but I will tell you another Australian expression that we use, which is when you're in a state of panic.
Ooh.
Or describing somebody who's in a state of panic, we'll say, or who's going to be in a state of panic.
Yeah.
In an amusing way, we'll say, "Oh, she's going to have kittens," or "He's going to have kittens. He'll be having kittens if he finds out that I parked the car on his driveway. He'll be having kittens."
Oh,
having kittens, though.
It just means I don't know why. I've never had kittens.
Like a kangaroo. He'll have a kangaroo. I feel
we say he'll be having kittens. It basically means they're going to be very, very upset if you do something.
Yeah. Around here, we say you're going to shit a kitten.
Yeah. Okay. So I've never had kittens.
We get to have cows.
You get to have cows.
Have a cow. I'm not kidding. That's how it is. This person's going to have a cow.
We have ominous cows.
Ominous cows.
Mm-hmm.
What are ominous cows?
Have you heard our ominous cows?
Ominous cows?
Yeah, they sound kind of ominous when they moo.
Yeah. We may have milked that one a little too much. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not that ominous, honestly. I'm not.
That's terrible.
What about this ball eating grass?
It's a classy little junk.
The fun fact about koalas, well, apart from the fact that they're not bears, koalas jump. They jump from one tree. I've seen it. I've seen a koala jump from one branch to another, from one trunk to another.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They have really strong legs.
It was
did they hardcore jump or just hop jump, or how did they jump?
They're holding on like this, and then next thing, I didn't even. I was so shocked to see it.
Like falling off
like this, and then next thing they were on the next branch there, and they jumped. And it was amazing. So when kangaroos jump, okay, that's not a surprise. But you didn't know that koalas jump.
I did not. Honestly, can kangaroos jump and have a joey in there with them? I feel like that would really.
Yeah, I took a video of kangaroos with a joey. Well, not kangaroos. One kangaroo with a joey. I took a video of it and posted it on LinkedIn a few months ago.
Jazz koalas,
it was really close. Awesome. I was a few yards away. Yeah.
I agree with you, Jim. Jazz koalas would be absolutely incredible. Just some koalas playing jazz, maybe some saxophones. But you guys know what time it is. It's 5:27, aka about 7 minutes past. So we are going to be jumping into final thoughts. And for those of you who do not know, or for our new guest, Anthony, here's what we got going on. You will have 30 seconds, minute and a half, or however long you want, to get center stage and say what's on your mind with your lasting thoughts for the audience. You'll be on center screen, so use this time wisely to talk to them. And with that, as our honored guest, Anthony, we'll let you go first for final thoughts.
You people are amazing. You have got an incredible ability to do stuff that you never knew that you could do. And the proof of that is this is not some rah-rah talk, okay? This is not being the coachy coach. You're amazing. The proof of it is that you have got to where you are right now through all of this whole COVID thing, through a worldwide pandemic, a lockdown, and you have achieved stuff that you always said you would never do, and you've done it. So congratulations. Just build on that. That's all I have to share from the Men Down Under. Men at Work.
Yes, with that. Build on it. Done good so far. Don't let up. Don't give in. Do not go quietly into that good night, as they say, right? Something about raging against the light. I think did I take final yesterday? I can't remember.
I think you were penultimate final, but you're welcome to do that again if you like.
Okay. I really don't know. So I'll just go ahead and let Lee lead us out for the day. But thank you so much for joining in today. And Anthony, of course, thank you so much for being our guest. It was a lot of fun to talk about Rachel's and to really just learn a little bit more about some things we can do to stay uplifted during this time and to really stay positive and to just keep going, because it's tough out there in the world and it's not getting any easier, guys. Some of us, there's good and bad right now. I know some of us are largely unaffected, other than now we have to stay inside. Some of us have been very deeply affected with multiple family members impacted. Some of us have known people who have passed away. Some of us are working in the medical field or essential workers, and we're all over the map right now. But the only thing that can bring us together is the way that we're there for each other. Taking care of each other with simple things like keeping your social distance, wearing your mask outside, and caring for other people's by not just letting your ignorance put them in danger is going to go a long way right now. And to getting that haircut that you so desperately need, if you're anything like me, look at all of this. So be a better person than you were yesterday. Today, do something good for one other person in the world. Check up on your friends. Maybe not hug your grandma, but give her an air hug. And as always, remember to bow tie up live with us around 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't prepare a statement, but, it's been an interesting week. And I just really appreciate how quickly we've developed this audience here on BowtieUP Live. It really wasn't even 2 months ago that this wasn't even thought of. And yet in this situation, which we could never have predicted, we've created something that wasn't here before, and it's impacted literally dozens of lives all around the world. And it's going to continue to do so. So I guess if I had to leave a final thought for the weekend, thank you so much for supporting BowtieUP Live, for supporting Alex and I, for being guests and being in the audience and cheering us on, and for buying all our crap that we're going to be foisting on you later on. But, thank you. But just remember, share, tell people. If you're tuning into this all day, please go tell somebody. Come watch this show, because we want to change more lives and turn dozens into hundreds, and then hundreds into thousands, and then we just want to piss off entire communities. And we can't do that without your help. So please share, all the usual stuff that I beg about, grovel about. Right? All right.
If you want to see entire communities of people or future guests completely pissed off, you know where to go.
Bring it on.
We've got something that'll push or pull, as we've learned about badass brands. Shout out Pia. We'll drop you a comment for that. But you got to push and you got to pull. And we're not about charging premium prices yet, but we'll just get that first step.
Speak for yourself.
Look, I just want to get you guys cool merch. Get the Ducket Bucket for sure. Color changing coffee mugs. Got to get some t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies in here. I'll be the one that does all the fun merch, and then Lee will make sure that we're monetizing properly. So proper Lee, if you get it. We're shameless.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we are absolutely shameless, and we're going to continue to be that way. So tune back in here Monday at 4:15-ish for another episode of BowtieUP live. Have a great weekend. Be present. Be well. Now get out of here.
And stay safe and healthy. Till next time.